I agree, Marty. Let's get rid of all the spring weather, right? It should be winter time. Good morning, Kirk. Hope all is well. Up there in northern Kentucky, I'm sure it's been cold this morning, but you'll have a nice afternoon coming your way. And good morning, Kristen, as well, all the way down into LaRue County this morning. And hello, Margaret Botts, bringing on the snow. Yeah, we got to keep turning it on the best we can, even if it is going to be a struggle. It's going to be a struggle for at least the next few weeks. I'm not giving up entirely. Winter hasn't even officially begun yet. So many people giving up. You can't give up. You can't give up, especially in this kind of a weather pattern. If you guys have noticed, the weather models have not been really great this year in handling some of the bigger unusual events we've had. Usually they catch on at the last minute, whether it's been cold blast or severe weather and tornadoes, whatever the case is. Everything's been kind of slow to catch on just because we've had such an amplified pattern at times across Canada. I think it's really complicated a lot of the modeling that is out there. So that's the reason why I'm going with a little more of a cautious setup, but I'm one of the few probably that really is thinking that. But I mean, you can't give up if you're a snow lover. You just gotta have that hope, even though obviously the meteorologist side of me is like, it's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough. All right, let's a lot to cover. So obviously I want to get at least into the rain side of things, then we'll get into the colder side. But as always the case, we got at least to the snowboard, right? And that is still featuring only the item for Monday, really Monday afternoon, evening, where we've got this light rain. It's going over to some light snow and snow showers. Looks minor, and it's not so much that we don't have the cold. We get the cold. We just don't have a lot of moisture. It's a north flow. North flows rarely give us a lot of moisture, right? So it makes sense it's going to be a bit of a struggle, but it does get relatively cold enough to where there is a little more bang for your buck as far as trying to improve the snow ratio a bit, not to the point of Arctic cold, but I do think it'll be enough to get some accumulations across the Commonwealth. But it may be certainly a little more of an issue for elevation, more so than just all general areas. So if you're more east, you have a better opportunity than areas to the west will be. I'll show you some of the maps on that in just a second. But it's a low end potential. Okay, let's take you outside. Another cold start today. We had temperatures below freezing everywhere, but we're going to get very close to 60 today. We got to 58 yesterday, so it makes sense. We're going to get around 60. Some high clouds are trying to stream in. You can barely even see them, but they're out there. So we're watching our setup here for the upcoming weekend. This low pressure right here, moving slowly across the I-64 to I-40 range across the country. That's its journey. It's getting the help from a kick that's moving in across the arrowhead of Minnesota. That will help dig into it as well. But it will eventually allow for low pressure to just develop right here across the southeast corner of the country. That storm has not formed yet, but these two pieces are going to help induce that as we head into the next 24 hours. You're going to really see the radar just light up dramatically in this area of the country, leading to the big storm that go up the East Coast with rain and very strong winds. Most of the strong wind action so far does look to be offshore, and I'm talking about hurricane force winds offshore. I don't see that signal along the actual land areas, which is good. Otherwise, this would be an even bigger of an ordeal, but still enough of an impact with strong winds of 40 miles per hour or a bit higher that is going to cause some travel delays for a lot of the I-95 corridor. A lot of the planes are going to have to fly around all of this mess or just be spaced out in great distances, and that's going to allow for big delays and, again, cancellations. So just be aware of that because it may trickle down to the rest of the country as we evolve through the weekend. Hopefully it doesn't, but it is trending that way for some problems. For us, though, it's really just this wave overall that we'll be facing on the rain side of things. The system that's going to give us the snow is actually not even barely into Canada. I can't even draw. Hold on. Maybe I can. Let me see if I can move the map. Okay. It is way up here off the even radar scope in this area of Canada that still has to move in. So it's not really getting sampled until the rest of this afternoon. So we really could still see some adjustments on this just because it's just now getting into the upper air network. So here's how the storyline is looking to go. As always, keep an eye on the clock on the top left corner of the graphic. And we'll walk you through this. We're fine today, no problems. We're fine tonight, no problems. We get into the daytime hours on Saturday. The timing of when the rain will start has moved up slightly. I'm seeing kind of a little more of an increase in the moisture levels. It still looks to be a night event. Don't get me wrong, but I got a feeling that for those of you near and west of 65, you may start to get measurable rain before we get to sunset. So just be aware that the rain chance will start to go up. If you're more west, you're going to see it sooner. If you're more east, you'll have it certainly more at night. But it will increase for everyone as we head into Saturday night. This is not a heavy rain scenario, but it is going to be steady enough that it will make the roads messy out there. You add that onto traffic, everyone trying to do some last-minute shopping or holiday parties. It's going to be one of those situations. Just plan ahead. If you're going to go to a party, you're going to go out, do some shopping, you got dinner plans, just add extra time because you know how traffic is around here, even with drizzle. So this kind of a setup is going to make the roads messy. It's going to stay above freezing the whole time. This stuff is not frozen. In fact, we'll hover right around 50 day and night for this entire setup for the weekend. As it moves in, it will then allow itself to surrender to the new low pressure that is developing in the southeast corner. And look at that expansive rain. I'm talking 3 to 6 inches of rain across the Carolinas into the mid-Atlantic. It is a tremendous amount. I mean, they need some rainfall. They are not in great shape either when it comes to the drought status like we are, but they don't want that much. That's a problem. And high tide will be happening for a lot of the coastal cities, so that's going to cause coastal flooding at times. So again, a tropical feel as far as impacts, but not a tropical system, if that makes sense. But it will be moving up the eastern seaboard. The speed of how fast it moves to the northeast is crucial as it moves up the I-95 corridor. A faster motion on this to the north would allow for the next piece that's now moving into Canada that's going to dive in to give us the snow shower chance. It would allow for it to aim a little more north of us and miss us completely. So that's why we can't go very high on even the snow shower chance just because of that uncertainty. If it's slow enough moving up the coastline, then it would grab a hold of the low and just throw it right down over us as we into Monday and Tuesday. Still some small differences there in the modeling because this system, remember, has not formed yet. And then the one piece that's going to arrive Monday hasn't moved fully into the upper air network. So you've got two unknowns, relative unknowns that are still in the developing stages. So there could be still some adjustments here, which is why I'm not trying to get you too focused on a lot of the details on the map until we see the next round of models that are coming in now. And certainly this afternoon, we should have a little better handle on that. But I don't like these close call scenarios. And that's been the setup for the entire past few months. We've had these systems that have been developing either near us or south of us, and in some cases even dropping straight down from the north on top of us. Not exactly normal systems that we would be tracking the movement in out of Texas. That's we're not kind of a pattern, not yet anyway. So because of this setup here, these systems developing in our area of the country, we have to make last minute adjustments as the weather balloons go up and sample the actual systems. So anyway, not to get all technical, just want to let you know if the forecast still has some adjustments, why that's the case. That's why. Okay, so it moves up the coastline. This is the Euro. Makes it slow enough to where it does pull down that low. And here we go. It drops down, strong wind, cold temperatures, and with it arriving at the time of late afternoon into sunset, that would allow then for better opportunity to get some light accumulations. This is going to be more of a grassy type scenario, but we are going to go below freezing into the 20s. So we'll need to watch for icy patches that could develop. If you see anything at all fall from the sky, and you can see how it's a really sharp cutoff even here on the Euro of I-65, we see that a lot. So that's not too unusual, but certainly if you're traveling more east, along I-64, if you're in Lexington, Frankfurt, Lawrenceburg area, you're a little more prone here to get some icy patches with snowfall as we head into Monday night. If you're back toward Evansville, Grayson County, Litchfield area, back even I would say Crawford County, your chances are relatively low on seeing much at all out of this. So placement is important here for Monday's light snow chance. And again, we got to keep in mind that there's still an opportunity here that this could still track north and miss us. So I want to make sure I exercise some caution on that. As far as the rain chance goes, we're going to ramp it up during the day slowly and then skyrocketed into Saturday night. Rainfall mounts. This is actually a decent little wave of moisture, considering that it's got to transfer over to a new low. Usually these really just dissipate so much, you don't get hardly any rain out of them. So to get a good ½ inch to 3/4, that's decent. And I think that's going to be a general rule that we're going to see. There will be a couple of area of heavier bands of rain that may briefly develop Saturday overnight that I can't rule out. But in general, this is about a ½ inch to 3/4 as we're talking about as we into Monday or Saturday night into your Sunday. I love looking at the ensembles from the GFS and a chart like this because I really think this helps also tell the storyline. You see the rain chance skyrockets. That is Saturday night. It's got it to basically 100%. And then you see right there as we have, I'm drawing the wrong screen, sorry. As we head right into Sunday, actually this is Monday afternoon and Monday night, sorry. Monday afternoon, Monday night, you see where it's got the blue that shows up. That is your snow chance, and see how it exceeds the rain chance. Finally, have yet to really see that this season, and it's small. It's only about a 10% chance showing up on the GFS ensembles. But at least it shows that snow would be the main type. So we know that the atmosphere is going to get colder on Monday, so we've got that in our favor. Now, if we could just get the moisture to cooperate, we'd have something to track. And yes, note toward Christmas Eve, we do have the rain chance. There's no blue there. It's the rain chance that is starting to show up toward the Christmas holiday. More on that in a second. As far as snowfall amounts, there are a couple ensemble members that are trying to push the 1 inch idea, which would be nice. I think we would be happy at this point with a ½ inch of snow. Snow lovers had something at least to fall on our decorations outside the yard, even if it would melt hours later. It still would be nice to have it, right? I think we can all agree on that. But the general idea, the most likely scenario is going to be just a few tenths of an inch. So again, it is minor. My concern here is just the idea we're going to get below freezing. And with even a very light snow showery type of scenario or heavy flurries, if you will, there could still be a few icy patches. So we'll need to monitor that into early Tuesday morning. Now, here's the other issue is going to be the wind. That wind's going to be strong as we into Monday as that dives down. Gusts of 30 to 40 miles per hour will be found across the area, picking up really Sunday night and ramping up on Monday, easing back on Tuesday. But remember, it's going to get colder. So we've got wind gusts of 30 to 40 miles per hour. But when you start to add in the idea that it's going to get colder, then you get wind chills that could be in the teens, lower teens at that. I think even our northern counties may get close to 10 above for a wind chill on Tuesday. See, there's wind there to have. This is a warm pattern scenario, and we're getting snow shower chance and wind chills into the lower teens. That's not bad. That's really all you need, to be honest, to get any kind of a winter storm setup. You don't need the Arctic cold, as I've been saying over and over again. You just need the right amount of cold to get it here at the right time. That's the challenge we have. And that's really tough to have in our area. But hey, there you go. So when you look at the Christmas holiday, I'm going to do this a little different. I'm going to go into more detail on this next week. That's going to be the main focus, obviously, is heading into Christmas once we get past the snow showers and flurries. This is the chart of 3 different models. I want to show you the Christmas layout. There's still some differences on how the upper air pattern will evolve toward Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. This is the Euro. It's got a wave of low pressure moving across the Great Lakes. It's got a weak one that is into the Ohio Valley, and a low pressure looks relatively cut off into the Four Corners. This is not a cold pattern at all. This is a warm scenario. The problem here is it's unsure on whether or not it's going to rain or not kind of scenario. I don't see anything, by the way, really warm. Normal is 47 degrees. It will likely be at that level or just above it. So I guess warm, relatively speaking, for you may think for a Christmas holiday, but the issue is whether or not it will be rain. The Euro, again, 3 different low pressures kind of stacked over. So it's a very busy setup on the upper air pattern for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Here is the, I believe this is the Canadian. Yep, this is the Canadian. It's got a low pressure over Arkansas, a weak one into Canada. This scenario actually would allow for maybe some heavier rain, even thunder down into Tennessee. But yeah, that would have a chance to get something wintry on the backside, but that would arrive after Christmas toward the New Year's holiday instead. But the Canadian idea would mean a little more of a heavier rain may try to develop for the Christmas holiday. And here is the GFS. Again, it's got a low pressure into the Atlantic, a weak one into the plains. It does have the one in Canada moving through. So at least there's 2 that do show that. What does this all mean? Right now, we are not able to lock in any type of rain chance at the moment or even amounts. We've got to keep the chance low because the models just don't know yet which wave to focus on that's moving across the lower 48. It's what we call a zonal or fast pattern. So these systems move in quick. So there will be changes for the Christmas holiday. Will there be changes to the point where you can get some snow to get involved? I mean, I can't say no. Can't. I'm pretty sure it's like legally written down somewhere in here. I can't, but it's unlikely. It is unlikely. However, toward the New Year's holiday, we do have a better opportunity. So I do think between Christmas and New Year's, we need to pay careful attention to the pattern and see how this evolves. I don't think, again, we can write off any kind of wintry weather for this season. I just think it's going to be a battle and a challenge. And as I said many times, you're not going to see it until we get right up to it. It's not going to show up very far in advance. So the snowboard is going to be a challenge for anything long-term this season. So let me summarize the entire 10-day and get to some of your questions if you have any. You see the entire 10-day there. We're going to go with 60, 59, 50 with the rain. Again, it's a 100% chance Saturday night. Be aware of that. And then Monday, windy and colder with the rain showers going to snow showers. Look at that low Monday night, 22 degrees. Again, that's what my worry is right now. I'm hoping the wind will help dry up the roads to where we can avoid icy issues for Tuesday morning's commute. But if there's still some snow showers and flurries around, that may change the storyline. So just pay attention to the forecast for that as we evolve through the weekend. And then as we get into next week, again, we'll go with near normal on temperatures, and we'll just keep an eye on the rain chances for the Christmas holiday as we get closer. Adam, yes, I do remember these snow in 2000 and 2004. 2004 was our bigger one, biggest actually. They don't happen very often, but I remember in 2000, I think I was on Bardstown Road. We were trying to head to Bardstown, and we got stuck on Bardstown Road because the snow band got stuck over central Kentucky and overperformed. That was a wild setup there. All right, so there you go. I think everyone's okay. I'll update you guys coming up on midday at 11 a.m. So make sure to tune in for that. And hopefully we'll have a better idea on these rain chances and snow chances too for early next week. All right, guys, I will see you then. Have a good rest of the day and be patient. At least there's a snow chance.